This is the recap with KU.
For joining me. I think there's a lot of confusion out there regarding the government shutdown. How did it happen? Why is it continuing? How do we resolve it? I think these are the questions that are on people's minds. So let me just say a few words about that. Without boring you about Senate rules, the shutdown took place 5 weeks ago because the majority party, in this case the Republicans, need 60 votes in order to pass a government budget. They only have 53 votes. The Democratic caucus has 47. And what has always happened under these circumstances is that the majority party sits down and negotiates with the minority in order to get the 60 votes. That always happens, except now. For the first time that anyone can remember, Republicans have said it is our way or the highway. We are not negotiating it. You take it or you leave it, and that's the way it is. And then to add insult to injury, to make it clear that they have no intention of negotiating, unbelievably, at a time when federal employees are not getting paychecks, when kids are being threatened without getting the nutrition they need through the SNAP program, when air traffic controllers are not being paid. In the midst of all of that, the Republican Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, has given his members of the House of Representatives, a 6-week paid vacation. Incredibly, they are not here in Washington, D.C. They are home. God knows doing what. So in the midst of a government crisis, what the Republicans of the House have said, you don't have to come to work. I mean, that's really quite unbelievable. So what are the issues that need to be negotiated? When we talk about negotiations, what are we talking about? And let me tell you what they are. If Democrats, and myself as an independent, were to agree to the Republican clean resolution, it would mean that over 20 million Americans would see a doubling in their health care premiums through the Affordable Care Act. 20 million. That's on average. In my state of Vermont, I'm hearing from people who are looking at a tripling or a quadrupling of their health insurance premiums. People cannot afford that. And as a result, people will lose their health care. Further, if we were to agree with the Republican proposal to pass their clean resolution, it would mean that 15 million Americans will next year be thrown off the health care they currently have, because in Trump's big, beautiful bill, the Republicans made massive cuts to Medicaid. And there are studies out there, and this point is not being made enough. There are studies out there that show that some 50,000 of our fellow Americans, lower income and working class people, will die unnecessarily every year because of that reality. 15 million people being thrown off their health care. It would also mean, if I voted yes to open the government tomorrow, that nursing homes, rural hospitals, community health centers will be devastated because of cuts in government funding. They will have to, in some cases, close down, and in other cases, just limit the number of people they can provide health care to. And by the way, I should mention, as many of you know, that all of those massive cuts to Medicaid and the Affordable Care Act were done for one reason, and that is to give $1 trillion in tax breaks to the top 1%. Well, you may disagree with me, but I happen not to believe that Elon Musk, worth $500 billion, or Jeff Bezos, or Mark Zuckerberg, or Larry Ellison, or the other multi-billionaires need a tax break which results in millions of people losing their health care. Just think about it. Tax breaks for Elon Musk and people losing the health care they need to stay alive. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Now, for those of you who may be following inside the Beltway politics, you may have heard that there are certain negotiations going on